Look at
Oh,
that. Look at that. Look at that.
welcome to the gun show of episode 111. All right, put those suckers away.
Okay. I have bronchitis.
Wow.
Super fun. I don't know if you heard me on last week's episode, but I coughed a couple of times and then I started muting myself.
Oh,
I
I
have
mute I
bronchitis.
mute you at the beginning of the show, so I didn't hear a thing.
Yeah, that's smart,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
It's a good way to have a good show. So, so I have bronchitis and I'm on prednisone, and I'm just wondering if it makes my muscles bigger.
Do you feel like you could like knock down a building and stuff?
I feel like that every day, though, so that's no different.
That's a good answer.
Mhm.
Oh my. Here we are.
Yeah, it's Hyner week.
Hyner Eve episode of Hyner Eve. Yeah. And it's the eve of you going on a long adventure.
Yeah.
Oh, well, how exciting. We should have a show to talk about all these things that we're saying. Like, I don't know, maybe episode 111 or something.
You're so smart. We should do that.
You want to do that? You cool with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Should
let's
we-
do it.
I mean, if you're free, we can do it right now.
Okay, I'm not doing anything.
All right. Grace, I've had about 3 minutes to prepare for this show, so go easy on me.
Okay,
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Grace, welcome to episode 111 for the Hyner pregame show, so you can flow through the race without hitting a plateau.
I'm Eric Idiot Runner Kosek.
And I'm Grace Hot Pants Langheim. Eric is all business in the front of the pack, and I am all about the party in the back.
That's right, business up front and party in the back. Together, we are the Running Mullet.
And we are going to talk about every aspect of running, the podium to the DNF and everything in between.
If you are a runner, this show is for you. Now sit back, get out your foam roller, and enjoy the party.
Do you notice anything different about me, Grace?
I mean, you look a little like more peaceful. You look like I kind of like your face more. I'm not sure why. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Grace, I got a buff on. It's an idiot runner buff.
Oh, cover it up. Cover up that face.
Wait, where's it? See, it's got idiot runner. It's backwards, but that's okay.
I really like that. I like that one. I like the topographical map.
Yeah, I got a
Coolness.
red one too. If you're more into that color, I got a bunch of them. They'll be at Hyner. The best part about these is they're half buffs, which I don't know about you, but that's what I prefer.
So I have a couple of things. I was just telling somebody the other day, like I have a couple of things that I almost primarily reserve just for either race day or FKT day, and one of them is my idiot runner buff.
Yeah.
You'll almost always see me wearing it on race day.
I've always in all honesty, I've always noticed that you always have it on. I love you for it.
I
But
do.
these
I have
are-
it packed and ready to go.
Good. I'm going to save one of these for you. You just tell me if you want a blue or a reddish one.
Ooh.
They are nice, and they're Hoorag brand, so like that's top of the line.
Yeah,
Absolutely love them. The packaging, like this buff that's on my head was in this cute little package with just the color through here. Like everyone's individually packaged.
Oh,
It's really nice.
it's got its own little house.
Yeah.
It's a Hoorag house.
Yeah. And you can do all kinds of things with this now that the buff's not in there. You can
Yeah, it could be a coaster.
Yeah. Could be a Frisbee.
Could be a Frisbee.
Yeah. So all kinds of options. But yeah, check it out at Hyner. And then after that, for anybody that leaves me with some, they will be on the website. But man, I am thrilled.
Yeah, you should be.
And this one, just like the hat last week, this will have my head grease on it. So that, and it's still going to be for sale. It's might be
No
a little
extra
more-
charge.
Yeah, it might be a little more. I mean, you're getting a
Okay.
collector's item at that
Right.
at this point, so you got to expect something. But there we are.
Okay.
How was your past weekend?
I mean, I spent it just getting ready for this upcoming FKT and trying to breathe because
Oh, is that
that's
bad?
yeah. I sleep for about 3 hours at a time before I start hacking up everything. I've been sleeping on the couch um, so that I don't lose my husband because he's actually been really nice. I just thought I don't want to wake him up in the middle of the
Right.
night, so I've been sleeping on the couch. So I spent the whole weekend packing, repacking, zeroing in on exactly the nutrition for every day. I feel way more prepared than I've ever been. So it was actually a really, really good weekend. I wanted to do some scouting this weekend, but with my breathing the way it was just not going to happen. So it was a good weekend. How about you?
So, are the drugs kicking in yet?
Yes. Yeah. I finally went to the doctor this morning. All last week I was coughing and I put it off. And then I finally went last night at 1:00 in the morning during one of my coughing fits. I scheduled an appointment for this morning and they started me on heavy prednisone to begin with and then tapering off through the week and antibiotics. So I feel a lot better right now because I have the drugs are kicked in at the moment. But it's still hard to breathe. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that stuff usually gets in your system and starts working pretty fast. So timing's actually probably pretty good. In reality, you should feel like super strong by the time you start.
I'm actually taking the last dosage of the prednisone is just one pill, and I take it Saturday morning before I begin my FKT. I'm gonna have to take my antibiotics with me for a couple of days. But I know the timing is like, well, I mean, I had to give up some other things like scouting the course, but hopefully this kicks it pretty quick. I usually respond well to medication because I don't like taking meds unless I have to. So they usually work on me. So I should be in good shape.
And have we looked at the extended forecast at all?
Oh, I've been looking at it for like 2 months. No, I didn't look at it too early, but yeah, I've been starting to look at the extended forecast and so far it looks pretty good. Looks like I'll probably get some showers at some point, but I don't think it's going to be downpour the whole time. Looks like some scattered showers, mostly cloudy. It's going to be cold at night. And so I have to pack. I was hoping to not have to pack warm clothing, but I'm going to have to. So I'm going to pack some wool-based layers and a blanket.
Wait, I thought you can't even be on the trail at night.
You can't be on the trail at night, but I got to sleep somewhere. And I'm going self-supported, so I can't have somebody pick me up or anything like that. So nights 2 and 3, I'm in a primitive cabin is what I chose. So I'm out of the elements, but there's no heating and there's no bedding or anything like that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I have to hike off trail. Night 1, I hike a half mile off trail. Night 2 is a little over, it's almost a mile off trail. And then night 3 is also almost a mile off trail. So.
All right. Well, basically enough about you.
Good.
Hey, before I forget, ask me about my weekend and then don't let me forget to tell you something.
I already asked you about your weekend and you didn't answer me. So that's on you.
Thanks for asking about my weekend, Grace. I had a good weekend. Becky and I went down to southwestern PA to Andrew Boyd's kind of fat ass last man standing race. Oh, it's called Orchard Park Backyard Endurance Run. Yeah, Orchard Farm Backyard, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a bunch of friends there, and we got some good miles in. Becky had a goal of 50, and she made it to 50. She was the last female. I did 42. The winner, Andrew, I think won with 70.
Awesome.
He wanted 100, but obviously you have to have somebody that wants to keep going with you in order to get that. So, but anyway, awesome trail, awesome property, and we had a fun time. But the thing I didn't want to forget to tell you is I was running along with these new faces and talking with people. And there's a guy behind me, and he said, "Hey, I like your calf tattoo," which is the running mullet guy.
Hey.
And I always forget I have the tattoo. I was like, "Yeah, thanks, man." And then, I got to explain in the show. He was like, "That's kind of funny." He said, "I have a friend, I don't know where, somewhere south. I want to say like South Carolina or Georgia or somewhere down there. A friend that's actually a really good runner, and he's sponsored by Hoka." And I probably should know the name. You might know the name. I'm not a fanboy much of people, but anyway, I can't remember his name. But he said that he has a podcast with a friend of his also, and it sounds a lot like ours, because I explained, where we got the idea of the party in the back and business up front. But theirs is called the Tortoise and the Hare, which I thought
that's great.
But it sounds very familiar. And I told him, I said, I gotta get connected with that crew, because it'd be fun to do a collaboration show, either us on theirs or theirs on us.
Yeah, we got to make it happen. We gotta do some research and figure out who's this tortoise and this hare, and how do we catch them?
Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. It sounds very, very similar to their goals were to bring in the side of running that we do, and it's just neat. I don't follow many podcasts, so I'm not aware of this stuff, but
yeah,
maybe some people that listen to this also have listened to that. I'm not sure, but I just thought it was ironic.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was a fun event, and highly recommend it. Their hopes and dreams and aspirations are maybe to attempt to get it to be an official 24-hour event.
Nice.
That could, technically qualify you for the championship race at Lazarus's house. But anyway.
Yeah, very cool. And I think like I said, I like the format of their race because they have an alternate option for those of us in the back of the pack. And I really appreciate that. I think that's very cool. So
yeah, I mean, obviously that option couldn't go official as far as the rules of the race and how it works goes, but it's still cool that anybody could show up. It was pretty much a big party.
Yeah. That's always the thing that's turned me away from the last person standing races. A lot of people know that I like doing long distance, and I get that question every once in a while, like, Grace, why don't you do it? I'm like, I'm not fast enough. Honestly, I can't make it around on the hour every hour for that long. But if you give me a little more time, I might be able to make it. So I think even though it's not official, I think it's really cool for them to create a different a different category. That's a good way of putting it. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm already starting to think about next year, because I've crossed so many things off of my list for this year. So I'm starting to think about next year, and I hope that one fits in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time of year. It's still early before, Hyner for me at least, Hyner kicks off the racing season. After Hyner, everything goes crazy. So
yeah.
It's early enough. It was wet and muddy, but that's what April is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, it was a fun time, and I stopped right where I needed to. I think we had this conversation last week. It's like, as far as training goes, I had no intentions of trying to win that race. So it's a balance of getting quality miles and still being productive this following week. Or go high miles and then you're out for a few days because you have to recover. So I'm very happy with how I felt today with my 42 on Saturday, and here we go again this week, which is a good feeling.
Yay. Last week, this was not the weekend, but I will tell you about one of the runs that I had last week. I joined the Conestoga Cowboys for their 5th anniversary of the General, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, the Conestoga Cowboys, it's just a local group of guys. A couple gals usually join in, and they have been running the same route, which they call the General. That's the name of the route. They've been running the same route every Wednesday for 5 years. And it's pretty cool. It's just a group run. And it's interesting, the names that pop up. There's some big names who come on occasion. And I do a shorter distance. I do an alternate version of that, usually on Wednesdays. But in celebration of the 5th anniversary, I ran the whole thing. It's 10 miles. And you have to do burpees when you get to the Dritt family cemetery. So I did my 10 burpees, and congrats to that group for making it 5 years. It's pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Enough about us. Hyner is upon us. The biggest self-proclaimed trail party of the year. Saturday, you got your 25K, you got your 50K, you got your party while those fools are running. You got an even bigger party when those fools get done running.
Yeah.
Friday night, you got your check-in. It's kind of a cool hangout time if you can make it there Friday night. Idiot Runner 10 will be set up Friday afternoon into Friday night and all day Saturday. So, I mean, that's going to make it even like, you know how like you have a party and then you have like chapow, like that?
Yeah.
That's what it's going to bring. It's going to be the chapow, chapow.
Wow.
So,
that's intense.
Yeah, I know it's a little intense, but I think we should bring that level to the Hyner party. So
I agree. I'm excited. Hyner is always a good time. This race has been going around for a long time, and it brings people from all over the United States. It is a trail race in Pennsylvania, and it has a larger entry number of participants than you would typically see in this sort of trail race. So it's a lot of single track trail, but because of their permitting and everything, they are allowed they have the permits for, I think it's 800 people for the 25K and 300 for the 50K. And usually you see much smaller numbers than that. So because of that, because there is camping on site right next to the start finish the night before and the night after, it means, and because it's very family friendly, it means that this race ends up being a big party for the entire weekend. So if you've never been there, it's one to put on your bucket list. I think anybody from anywhere in the United States. But if you're within driving distance, all the more reason to head over to Hyner one of these years, if not every year. And I will say it's also a really fun race to volunteer at. It's a fun race to spectate and just go and cheer people on. So you're always going to have a good time at Hyner.
Yep. And you're missing it.
I am. I'm missing it this year. The conditions are perfect. And my work schedule is perfect right now for me to do my Horseshoe Trail FKT attempt number 3. So that's where I'm going to be. I will not be at Hyner this year. I'm going to cry all day because I'm not there.
Yeah, it's all good. We are not doing a live show this year. I thought about trying to do it, but it's too much for me. I don't want to. So we're going to hold off this year. And talk about it in a week or two after the event. So go from there. The weather's looking, at least right now, which I don't trust anything this far out, but it looks like it's half decent. Yep. Maybe a few rain showers, but warmer, and it's going to be a fun day.
Yep, it is going to be a fun day. The other big thing before we dive into Hyner, for those people who are attempting the Triple Crown and or the Blacklist, this kind of kicks off the season. So there are some people who are attempting what is called the Pennsylvania Triple Crown. That is a collection of 3 races, starting with the Hyner 50K. So that also makes this kind of the beginning of the race season. And then there's, of course, plenty of people who are completing Hyner just for funsies. or they're being competitive. I mean, Hyner is a competitive race too. You get some pretty fast runners come out to Hyner, and
Very
so
good,
should
right.
we. Yeah. And I always, this is what I say about Hyner, because we got some fast people locally down in here in South Central Pennsylvania. You got some fast people up there. We got some fast people in New York, New Jersey. What I say is, if you're normally at the front of the pack for a trail race, you might find yourself a little bit further back. And if you normally find yourself at the back of the pack, you might actually find yourself a little bit further up. I mean, this is a race that attracts a very fast front crowd. And it also attracts hikers. So there's, not for the 50K, but for the 25K, there are people who come and they are set out to hike it from beginning to end. And there's nothing wrong with that. So it does put you usually at a different place in the pack for most people than what they're used to. For some people, if they find themselves at the front of the pack, they'll still be at the front of the pack, but it's tougher at this one. You really got to put everything into it if you want a podium spot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as the race goes itself, I mean, we probably want to talk about it a little bit, but I don't know if I don't know how much of a broken record we should get into with it. You can say things and I can say mine. It's not even that. It's just, I don't think there's too much awful to say about it. I think everybody listening is probably familiar, at least somewhat, with it. The biggest takeaways that I have are what I'm going to say. If you want to compete and you want to push yourself, you better get across that first half mile of bridge fast, because it turns into a funnel and you're going to get stuck behind people. Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing. And the second most important thing is, if you are one of those people and somebody needs to pass you, if you're wearing music or listening to podcasts, don't have it that loud so you can hear somebody behind you. And when they ask you if you could move over, or if they're right there, just please move over. Mm-hmm. You're not going to lose much time or anything. That's the biggest clog up with that many people. Mm-hmm. It happens every year. It's going to happen this year. If you want to be that person that gets out in the front of the pack to get to that bottleneck, that's fine. But you have to realize that there's going to be people behind you that are going to want to pass you. So yeah, it goes both ways, kind of thing.
Yep. It sure does.
Oh, yeah. And one other thing. The first hill can literally destroy your race. It can literally destroy your race. If you have a goal and you're going for a time and you're excited, you burn up on that first hill and it will affect you for the next 6 hours, in my opinion.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I'm going to go one step further. I think this is a race that, if I'd really challenge people to not bring music or a podcast or anything, and not even put it in your ears. There's so many people. It does get a little congested. I know on the downhills, I've struggled to pass people because I am a little faster on the downhills than I am in the uphills. And I'm struggling to pass people because they can't hear me because they're listening to music. And it's just not the kind of course for that. And you might make a new friend. So it's not a great course for music or for podcasts. I would say leave it at home. I don't think you need it here. Or if you have, some headphones, maybe you just wait until later on in the race where it thins out some.
I mean, it's a great day if you're a shy person, and even if you're not a shy person, it's a great day to make new friends.
It is. I've made quite a few friends. I met this woman who was like one of the fastest power hikers I ever met. She was cool, and I got to run some miles with her for a while. So it's a great day to make friends, and it's just a cool vibe, and I don't think you really need it,
Right. No, that's personal opinion. There's still people that think
they
do need it to help them get through the miles and get to where they need to be. But I kind of agree with you. Like, let it go in this one. See what it's like. Suffer a little bit.
It's a good time to give it a shot.
Yeah.
And then you talked about our first hill, which is, of course, Humble Hill. So Humble Hill, for anybody who has not run Hyner before, once you see the top of the hill, that's not the top. It is, it's called Humble Hill because it does have a false summit. And you will reach the top when you see a ton of people. You'll pass by Carl's bell. And Carl was a great trail steward, and he absolutely loved Hyner. That was his favorite race. And if you ring the bell, that is in memoriam of Carl, or I think anybody else who's close to your heart who may have passed. So it's a nice little moment before you get to the very top of Humble Hill and your first aid station.
Yeah, good stuff. I agree.
Now, I think another tip that I like to give out is that first aid station, if you're doing the 25K or if you're at the back of the pack at the 50K, the first aid station can get pretty congested. I like to bring enough fuel and water with me that I can just blow through that aid station and not even stop there.
It's fun. It's funny you mentioned that because the first aid for front of the pack, the first couple aid stations are very light.
Yes.
The last one above at SOB, that one is like a party going on. There's people everywhere, and it's hard to tell where you go to get the aid station for people in the front of the pack.
Yeah.
So it's funny that the difference that just stating that shows between the pack and the back of the pack, obviously.
Yeah. I think this race, if you're in the front versus being in the back, it is a different strategy. I think with some races, it's not so different, but with this one, it is a little different. You know, in the back of the pack of the 50K or the back of the pack of the, or in the middle of the pack of the 25K, honestly, it can get pretty congested on that first aid station. Now, what Eric's talking about is the SOB, top of SOB aid station, which I believe is the last one, right?
Yeah.
And if you're in the 50K, you are connecting back with people who are also in the 25K, which is why it becomes so congested at the front of the 50K. Now, if you're at the back of the 50K, you will also catch up with 25K runners. So it's also congested at the back of the pack. So SOB can be pretty busy. They do have a lot of volunteers there up at SOB. But, you know, you try to be patient with them, and you just got done with a really big, tough climb. I think both of those climbs, Humble Hill and SOB, both of those climbs are ones that at the back of the pack, you just kind of get patient with it and settle in. It's going to be a long climb, and you don't want to waste yourself too much on those because you want to be able to get to the top and start running right away. Once you get to the top of those, you know, once you pass through that aid station. So I've seen a lot of people burn up on those hills. And then a couple hours later, they're really kicking themselves for pushing themselves a little bit too hard and going into that anaerobic zone with their heart rate. I don't think it pays on those hills to get into your head, I'm just going to hurry up and finish it. You know, I think that's the mentality. I'm just going to hurry up and finish this climb, and really steady Eddie. And even for me, like what I'll do is I'll be steady Eddie, and then when I get close to the top, that's when I start pushing it, and I might go a little bit faster at the top of the hill than I do the bottom. You know.
Interesting. I can't say I've ever attempted to steady Eddie.
Well, that's why you win things and I don't. Although my body's just not capable of it. So.
No, I'm gonna keep that in mind. It's gonna be rolling through my head all this year at races. Steady Eddie, steady Eddie.
Yeah. Well, steady Eddie. I think for the back of the pack, you know, like I said, it's a lot of runners out there for this course, and you just kind of kick in and make some friends and politely try to pass when you can. I have heard this. I was talking to a road runner one time, and they said that one of the things that they didn't realize when they switched over to trail running versus road running is that people will typically not move over for you unless you say on your left or on your right. And I think you should. I think you should say on your left or say on your right if you're going to pass. If you're just like breathing really heavily, people are not going to automatically move over for you. And that's actually the polite thing to do in trail running, is to not move over until somebody says something, and then you move over. Because you just never know.
You know what I tend to do, and it might be right, it might be wrong, but
yeah,
because like sometimes if I'm climbing a hill and I'm giving max effort, it's actually hard to talk. So I'll just purposely let out a cough. And if I can tell that they noticed my cough, at least I know that they know that I'm there.
Yeah.
You know, as I get close, because I don't want to startle them if they have earbuds in, for one. And I just want them to know. So the person in front, they have a choice at that point. They can wait for me to say on your left, or, hey, can I get by you, please? Or they can just move over a little bit and let me pass. And 99% of the time, they realize somebody's coming up on them fast, and they move over and let you pass. So there's all kinds of ways of getting around it. But the most frustrating thing is when you say on your left and the person ignores you because they're jamming or listening to a podcast. I understand why people want to listen to that stuff, but it's really frustrating if you're cruising and you're feeling great and you get somebody that to you, it feels like they're ignoring you, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think it depends. I think it depends a little bit on the course. Like I know if I'm in the 25K at Hyner, as soon as I hear, and usually people will yell front runner coming through, and then I'm like, oh, now I got to pay more attention because the first runner of the 50K just passed me. That means the second one is going to be not far behind. So I need to really pay attention, and I'm probably going to look for them and just move over automatically. Where there's other situations where I have somebody behind me and they're breathing heavy, but actually they're pacing off of me and they don't want me to move. And I've had that.
And that's when you ask, hey, do you want by? And if they say, no, I'm good, well, then you just keep going. Yeah.
Yep.
I tend to do that a lot. I tend to ride people's heels because they pull me up the hill, but I know for a fact I'm on them too close and I'm probably annoying them. And I say that a lot of times. I'm like, look, I apologize. This is just what I do, and it helps me get up the hill, but I don't want to pass you, and I appreciate you doing what you're doing, type of thing.
Yep. I do that. I get on people's heels, and I know I've irritated a couple of people before, but it helps me get up that hill or get through that section. So for people who don't like it, they usually move over, and that's fine. But I've had people where I'm not even close to them and they move over. And now I feel like I have to move faster than I actually want to move because they're waiting for me to pass by them. And actually, I was about ready to do a walk break. And so like, I usually just wait for me to say something before you move over. But again, I'm not in the front of the pack. I think it depends on the course. It depends on where you are in the pack, and you feel out that situation. But I will say, if you are transitioning from road over to trail, it is very, very common for people to say on your left or on your right, and they're not being rude or anything. That's just the normal thing to do in trail running.
Yeah. And to beat the dead horse one more time, I want everybody running the race to remember that Hyner is very competitive, and there are people that are going to be out there going for a very, very, very stout course record even. And because it's been set so many times and lowered so many times, you're at a point where the best of the best, it's going to come down to possibly seconds, or if not seconds, a few minutes. So if that front runner is rolling through and he has to stop to a power hike just because somebody accidentally can't get out of his way, you affect a lot. And we're all friends and family in this crazy sport. So you have to let them not be affected by you if possible.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm looking at the registration list. And so just to kind of picture this, it's actually 483 people in the 50K, which is big for a 50K. And the 25K is 1,123. So that's a whole lot of people. Again, at some point, the trails converge And so you have about 1,600 people getting through that section. And so you want to be conscious when you come up to the aid station, you get your stuff and then move out of the way so the next person can come through. And then everybody has a good day, you know?
Yep. It's going to be a fun time.
It is a fun time. And I think to that point, with that many people there, there's tons of porta potties, but you want to get in that porta potty line early. There's tons of food afterwards, but you might have to be patient with people because there are lines. It's a great opportunity to cheer on people as they come through the finish line. There are so many fun things to do. And, if you're able to, you make a day of it, get there nice and early so that you can get your parking settled. It's a lot of people for both of these races. So you be gracious with everybody who's just trying to figure it out, and thank your volunteers.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. It's a blast. I'm looking forward to it. We're my whole family's looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a fun time. None of us are even racing it, and that's why it's so much fun.
What are the girls doing that day?
Just hanging out.
Cool.
Lauren will probably be going for a long run somewhere on flat stuff, and
yeah,
just hanging out, just helping at this idiot runner's tent I'm setting up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just watching all the fun happen.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the day goes. I've got lots of I'm not even going to name drop people because there's so many familiar names. So many friends are going, and I'm really excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we will all be thinking of you out on the trail, Grace, even though the first day is going to be easy, so no one cares about you for the first day.
Yeah, you shouldn't care about me for the first day.
No.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but that's about all I have to say about the old Hyner party. Look forward to it. It's a fun time. If you didn't sign up this year and you're just listening in and you want to know more about this Hyner stuff, you better get on the social medias and follow it, and you better be ready to sign up when registration opens because it sells out very, very quickly.
Yeah, it sells out in a jiffy. And one other bonus before, I don't want to forget about this. I have been slacking on my Mullet Chronicles episodes on recording them and getting them out. I have reasons for that. But you know what? Those are my reasons, and they're super boring, so I'm not going to talk about them. And I am about ready to drop a new episode, and it is from Anthony Arthur.
Whoa.
It's a good one. It's really good. It's from his quest for the Blacklist, and of course, we know that the Blacklist, it's the Triple Crown, and then also includes Black Forest 100K. So I thought it would be great timing for us to drop this episode right before Hyner. So that episode is coming up, and it's going to be, it's a good one. It's a good story. I know you know the story, Eric, and it's good.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear your voice in that one.
Thank you.
All right. I think we can wrap her up, right?
I think so. That was good.
Yeah, it was good.
I hope if you're listening, whether you're in the front of the pack or the back of the pack, that you got some good tips, and hope you have a fabulous day at Hyner. I hope you make friends. I hope you say hi to Eric. I hope you tell him that he has an adorable face and that he should smile more because he loves hearing that.
Whatever. Cough or smoker's cough, whatever you have there.
I do.
But yeah, so we'll see you at Hyner basically. Grace, we can't even ask each other what we're doing this weekend because we both know.
That's it.
So I guess bye.
Okay, bye.
No, we'll be on. We're not sure what we're doing Monday yet.
Yeah.
If we have a show, it'll be yours truly.
Yeah.
I'm still unsure. I've been very busy, and I'm going to have a super extremely busy week all the way up through Hyner. So I don't know yet. If we don't have a show Monday, it will be the following Monday, and we'll summarize the drama that Grace put herself through, and we'll summarize Hyner, and we'll summarize my beautiful smile. So it should be a great show.
That's a lot.
Focusing on the smile. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, we're always focusing on your face, your smile.
Yeah. We're going to figure out how to mute you soon so that you don't have to hear that.
One of these days, you'll figure it out.
Emphysema, but that's okay. Now, I hope it does clear. I'm telling you, like, this might actually be like a good thing. I mean, you're taking like steroids to be strong, but we'll pretend that didn't happen. Yeah. But I bet you're going to be like beyond healthy by Saturday.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I hope everything goes well. If it doesn't, I'll tell you about it on Monday, because that means I didn't make it.
No, that's not going to happen. Nope, you'll be fine even if you're not 100%. I know you got it this time. So.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. All the preaching things. Keep tuning in. 20 viewers right now. Shazam!
Yeah, a lot. That's because it's Happy Hyner. It's Happy Hyner episode.
I know. I hope everybody has a good week. We will see you next week or the week after we recover, and it's going to be a good show then. So
yeah, it's going to be a great one. Thanks everybody. Tune in every Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, to hear about all the things happening at the front of the pack and the back of the pack and everywhere in between, and the DNFs and the DNSs and the FKTs. And thanks for tuning in tonight. Happy Hyner.
Happy Hyner, everybody. See you Friday afternoon or Saturday. If you're listening and you're going to be there, you better say hi. Okay? I get free hugs. I don't have any you pooped stickers. I wish I would have got them, but I didn't. So,
that's my thing.
But come by and say hi. Don't forget, if you have any Idiot Runner gear on and you come to the tent, you get a free gift. So that's a win-win.
And the gift is more than a hug.
Right. All right. Take us out, Grace.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Bye.